That is awesome, dude. Look how red he is. That's real animal style right there.
Look at that.
That is a day maker, baby. Oh, look at that.
Real Animals, presented by Contender Boats.
You know, there's a certain time every year when me and my good buddy Captain Ryan Rickard, we just get to itching for a little travel trip to Louisiana. You know, it's one of those trips that you get so excited about. Once you put it in the books, you go through all the preparation, all the details, gathering all the right tackle. You know, a lot of these fish are just, it's a different fishery than we fish there in Tampa. So the water's dirty, you gotta make sure you got the popping corks and the topwater plugs and all kinds of things go into the thought process for making this one of the greatest trips of the year. You know, after a 12-hour drive to the bayou, you arrive at the Delacroix Lodge, you get a great night's sleep, and there is just something special about coming out of your cabin in the morning. The sun's just starting to come up, the excitement of the day is building, you see all your gear, and you know that all your preparation is fixing to pay off. Hey gang, today I'm back in beautiful Delacroix, Louisiana, one of my favorite places to go fishing, with my main man, Captain Ryan Rickard. We're fishing out of Sweetwater Marina. Spent the night at the Delacroix Lodge, all rested up, ready to go do some fishing. What do you think today holds in store?
I can tell you this, gonna have a lot of fish in store today. We're just gonna go have a good time fishing today. You know what, we might catch fish that are 16 inches, we might catch them 25, we might catch them 35, but we're gonna do a little bit of mixture of everything, some swim baits, some popping corks, and just put some fish in the boat and have a good time.
I'm in. Obviously, we've got an incredible morning. I don't know that I've ever been in Louisiana with a prettier morning. What are we gonna try to do here?
Well, here's the deal. I've actually been here a little over 2 weeks now, and I haven't seen it this calm. I mean, this is slicked out conditions. Now, what we're gonna really start off doing is just kind of working some broken marsh. We're gonna start off this morning with some popping corks. It's actually one of the locals' favorites, the popping cork stuff. So just a short leader, got a little swim bait lure this morning with chartreuse tail, chartreuse head. Gonna make a little noise, see if we can get these fish drawn into us. But if that doesn't, seem to be what they want, we'll switch to some swim baits and maybe some spoons or something of that nature.
Okay. It seems like there's a lot of action and stuff moving
already
up
as soon
here.
as we pulled up, there's some bait, some mullet working up on the edge. So I'm sure there's some redfish holding up there. We'll get up there and make it happen.
I like it. Let's do it. Oh boy.
Did you see that fish?
No.
I didn't either.
I was back here trying to get
I mean, he was tipping around for a minute, but.
Trying to get rigged weedless to join the party here. It's like a nice fish though. You know, here, the redfish are, especially this time of year, that water temp is in the mid 60s, mid to upper 60s anyway, and it makes them really energetic. When they get on a feed, it's really, really impressive. I mean, they tear your baits up. They got a bunch of fight to them, fishing on light tackle. It doesn't get any better than, chasing these big red bronze bombers through the bayou is a day like no other that you'll have in your fishing life. Full bay rod, baby. Can we get that for you? It's a nice fish. Look at that. Early morning pumpkin. Look at the energy level. That water temp's cool, huh? Look how orange it is. Look at that bad boy right there, drumming up a storm. He inhaled that marshmallow.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
That is pretty Louisiana pumpkin. Look how orange that is.
That fish was tipping for a few minutes, like his back would come out,
Yeah.
his tail would come out and tip, and I didn't see him when I caught him, but.
Well, that's the cool thing about Delacroix, Louisiana, is there's so many different ways to catch them.
Yeah,
some days
right.
you're sight fishing them,
Right.
some days you're just blind casting, popping corks. The guides do really, really well on shrimp, so if you're not really comfortable with artificials, you come here, you still catch a bunch of fish. I mean, it's just an incredible estuary with so many fish. You want to help me get this out of his
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you can help get that out.
throat?
Actually. It's good fish, start the morning.
Beautiful fish, huh?
Real Animals is brought to you by Quantum Fishing Reels, Bull Bay Rods, Strike King, Rolls Axle Trailers, CCA Florida, and CCA Florida Star Tournament.
There's no mullet here. I mean, just an acre of them
Yeah, it's covered up.
covered in mullet.
You about need popping corks to try to catch fish here, all that noise.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly why the redfish key off on the popping corks right there, is because all this mullet activity, all this slurping on top of the water going on. A lot of times the redfish will sit right underneath these mullet and just pick off baits and crustaceans that get kicked up off the bottom from these mullet.
Right out here next to you.
Oh, buddy.
Sometimes. There it is, here he is. Popping cork!
Unbelievable,
Popping
dude.
cork!
Got to find the right pass, holding some fish, and hit it with this popping cork.
They
and
might
it's
like that glow you're using
game
a lot
on.
better, dude.
Pearl, baby. Pearl, baby. Marshmallow in the marshmallow.
Double hook up.
The marshmallow.
Oh, he spit it.
Oh,
He spit it.
Oh.
There's a bunch of fish up there, though.
Yeah, there is. I've only been in one estuary that compares when it comes to bait. You know, the Mississippi draws so much nutrient-rich water to this area down here in the bayou that the bait fish just thrive. And what that does is it creates just an incredible environment for these game fish. You know, the redfish in the bayou are absolutely spectacular. They're like footballs, little chunks of golden nuggets that swim through the water and attack your baits. It's absolutely like no fishery in the country. Look at that, marshmallow is in his yap. He crushed it. He crushed
It's awesome, dude.
Crushed it. Nice fish, fun size.
Shoot, I'll catch them fish right there all day long.
All day, bro.
There ain't nothing wrong catching fish like that.
He's got a little green on his head there, but he's been rooting around. Pretty blue tail, huh? You know, one of the things you can do here that you really can't do in too many parts of the country, because a lot of the fish, especially in Florida, on Florida's west coast for sure, you know, the fish are so skittish, there's so much pressure on the fish, water's crystal clean, and they just won't take the kind of pressure that these fish will here. And because the water's so dirty, the popping cork is an incredible way to call these fish to your bait. You know, for years and years I heard about popping cork and redfish here in the bayou, and until I got here and actually did it and saw the wakes of these fish, you know, their backs out of the water headed for that loud splash of that popping cork, it's like nothing I've ever seen. It's a great way to catch fish here in the bayou. It's unbelievable. Told you.
There he is, boys.
Told you. Coming out of that pass right there with all that moving water. Boy, need some help?
No, I'm good. You keep going. There's a couple more in there.
You know what's been interesting is, again, here we are with this pass with all this water moving through it. All day that seems to be where they've been staged up.
That's it. 22-inch fish, 21, 22-inch fish.
If you're ever in any body of water and you're listening to splashing mullet or feeding fish, that's what we're imitating with that popping cork. Got a bowl on the top of the cork so you get that big splash. A lot of the popping corks, you don't have to use them, but a lot of them will have a couple metal beads on them so you get that loud clacking noise, and that draws those fish right to it. They think they're missing out on some kind of barbecue somewhere, and they come running to find out what's to eat in that area.
Real Animals is brought to you by Ray Marine, South Seas Island Resort, Gator Gems Tackle, closed captioning provided by Gator Ford,
good friend Ryan Rickard, who for some reason has some inner will to be a bass fishing legend, because he sets a hook like nobody I've ever fished with. Standing on the deck of a boat with Ryan, I am constantly on guard because if he gets a bite and you're not paying attention, you could end up in the drink.
Look at that fish coming to it. Look at that fish coming to it.
Glad I said that, huh?
You want to pull down here for a minute? There was another fish coming right to him.
Let's get this one landed. Pretty fish. He's in the boat.
Boat flipping.
That's kind of cool because that is how you cork them.
Yeah, yep. The little drainage ditch right here pouring water through, and you would just think one of the fish were sitting there on that ambush point.
Oh, man. Let me tell you what, buddy. The Ryan Rickard hook set.
Just jam up. That's what it is.
He wasn't coming off, ever.
Just so everyone knows here, this is like a 24-inch fish, and I know it's gonna look like he's 12 inches with your big hands, but
Man, you gotta be a hater. Ryan's already back to fishing.
heck yeah, I'm back to fishing.
Trying to get the lead. Oh boy, I gave you enough time there to
Oh yeah.
catch that thing. You know, Captain Ryan Rickard and I have been lucky enough to fish a few tournaments together. And one of my favorite things about him is that he is so competitive. The man loves to catch redfish. He is ate up with the redfish, for sure. But that competitive edge, you know, that brings out the competitor in me. And when we get together, whether we're on the same team or fishing against one another, you gotta go back and forth a little bit, you know. There's just something to putting it on your buddy on a day on the water that makes it all worth getting out there. There he is.
There you go, fish on.
Something. He's swimming at me doing 80. I don't know what it is, but
A roho.
he's mad.
It's a good fish.
He's mad.
You want me to put the poles down?
No, I got him. He was on the inside of that corner. And buddy, he lumped it.
I got you, dog.
He lumped it. Well, these fish have shoulders. They're just not like redfish in human places.
No.
It's like interplanetary redfish action.
So much better fish. He ain't hooked real well.
Right?
I hope I can get through.
Don't start that. Oh, if that was your fish, you'd have landed it. Huh? Look at the pretty spot pattern. They've been eating some shrimp too, or some crabs.
Look at that fish.
stud.
That's a good fish there. Really good fish there.
Yeah, that's a good
Solid.
Fish. Yep. Good fish. What's he go, 7 pounds?
No, I fished a 7.5, 7, yeah, he's 7
8
pounds.
pounds, maybe?
He might be a little over, but 7.5, 8 pounds.
Pretty fish, huh?
Yes, sir.
The Martian Delacroix, you gotta come get you some of that.
Yeah, that's good stuff,
fun,
boys.
okay.
Good stuff. Great fish, buddy.
Good boy.
Real Animals Tip of the Week is brought to you by Mirror Lure. Turn on the bite.
Hey gang, this week's Real Animals Tip of the Week, I want to talk to you about my good friends at Mirror Lure. You know, there's a lot of saltwater bait companies out there, artificial lure companies. Let me show you some of my favorites. You know how much I love Mirror Lure's paddle tails, the marshmallow, one of my favorite paddle tails of all time. Probably 75% of the soft plastics I throw are paddle tails. I love that crazy vibration in the body, the way the bait is designed with the big old belly on it to make it look just like a bait fish in the water. They also have the Provoker. This is a great one. Got a little bigger profile to it, a lot of action with the tail, slides through the water really, really pretty and precise. Fish just can't turn it down. So some absolutely phenomenal plastics there in a great assortment of colors. Absolutely amazing. Now on their hard bait side, I don't know anybody that makes a better topwater plug than Mirror Lure. You know, they make so many variations of this bait, different sizes, different color combinations, high pitch frequency, low pitch frequency. Some come with a rattle in them, some come without a rattle. They're weighted and tank tested and balanced, and everything is just right when you get a Mirror Lure topwater. Now, one of my favorite baits from Mirror Lure in their hard bait collection is the Miradine. This bait has absolutely been on fire the last couple years. MirrOlure has done just a phenomenal job on making colors that work for your area. These baits sell all over the country. Ask for MirrOlures, get you some of these baits, and catch you some more fish.
Real Animals is brought to you by Maui Jim, Plantation on Crystal River, Pro Marine, Engel Coolers, Aqua Traction, Power Pole. This week's Tackle Box is brought to you by Cleanse Oil, America's original cleaner, lubricant, and protectant.
Hey gang, this week's Real Animals Tackle Box. I want to give you a rundown on all this stuff Captain Ryan Rickard and I were using in the marsh. So I like to throw the 7-foot 6-inch Bull Bay rod. This is the Real Animals Signature Series 17-pound rod. It's got 15-pound braided line on it. We were using popping corks today a bunch, and paddle tails. Really important to have these paddle tails in the marsh. And this chartreuse jig head doesn't always work in clean water conditions, but it works really, really good out here in Louisiana, as does that chartreuse tail. This is the MirrOlure Marshminnow, one of my favorites. This is purple with the chartreuse tail. The big key for today's bite was the popping cork. This thing works great in Louisiana to draw fish in from all kinds of different areas. This is the Cajun Thunder. It's got a big spoon here for that big splash on the water. The bearings on the bottom. Make sure you get yourself some popping corks if you're headed out there. Draws fish in from all over. It's absolutely spectacular. A great way to catch redfish in the marsh. This is all the gear you need to do just what Ryan and I did today. Get out there and catch them up. It's a long drive. It's about a 10-12 hour jaunt here to Delacroix. And when you're pulling a big 25 contender down the road, you got quite a few stops just for fuel and food and things like that. But this is one of the few times when I get in the truck and I've got a 10, 11, 12 hour drive ahead of me that I'm not too bummed out. It's worth the drive. Boy, catch another bass.
That would be a yes, sir. Green thumb right there, little green thumb.
That is pretty cool. I mean, there's only a handful of estuaries that you can do that in. That's pretty sweet.
Sometimes they hit them aggressive and sometimes they don't. Yours just went down for a minute and it was kind of just moving. Like
yeah.
The cork went under, but he was kind of just moving. He didn't really stroke it, but sometimes they'll hammer them. There you go. That's a better fish.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, wherever you have that moving water in here, boy, that's where they end up. These cuts, boy.
When you help, you got him.
I got him. I know, I got you. Come on, we're gonna let you go here. Pretty fish, huh? Healthy estuary. We've had some over the slot, some in the slot. One of the really nice things about the marsh down here is the redfish are in a lot of different areas. They're in some very skinny ponds that I can't get into with my 25 contender. And guys in little poling skiffs, technical skiffs, they do really, really well here. Every time I come, I'm in this big bay boat that drafts 14 inches of water, and we don't have any problem at all catching fish. Pay attention, look for the bait. You can bring your bay boat here and catch all the fish you want. I do it all the time in the 25 contender bay, and it's a blast. Boy.
This is what you call Delacroix meat right here. That's a chunk.
Delacroix chunk.
We caught quite a few of those in the IFA championship too, but they'll mix around with them big ones too.
I grew up in central Wisconsin, and up there, when you grow up there, everybody says it's God's country. But boy, I'll tell you what, a day on the marsh, catching the fish we're catching, seeing the wildlife we're seeing, I'm not so sure that this end is in all God's country down here in the bayou.
You get hit? You're on, dude.
I am on.
Like your line is moving so far left right now.
Quickly. I was thinking we saw that one moving that we would be able to pick up another one right here.
There you go. It's not a bad fish right there.
No, he's cute. Cute little fella.
Need help?
Oh.
That was so crazy. Your line was like
Dude,
peeling left. I'm like, what the heck's going on here?
That's like the fourth fish I've had today that ate it and swam right at me. Which I guess I'd probably do the same thing. I'd go towards the pain if somebody stuck a hook in my jaw. Nice fish though. Pretty blue tail. Huh? Rubbing noses with the pumpkins. Delacroix. Gotta come do this. Absolutely an incredible day. You know, another successful trip to Delacroix, Louisiana. Absolutely incredible accommodations at the Delacroix Lodge. I can't thank Brandon enough for his hospitality and putting us up in a great lodge. And fishing with my good buddy, Captain Ryan Rickard, it just doesn't get any better. The guy's so much fun to fish with, so passionate about what he does, and it made another memorable trip to the bayou.